What will happen if a girl finds herself alone in the forest, walking nervously, and suddenly some bad people show up, trying to kidnap her? But then, when the bad people try to snatch her, something unexpected occurs that shocks everyone. Once upon a time, there was a village deep in the forest where Nancy's grandmother lived. In the cozy home, there were only 3 residents: Nancy's grandmother, her daughter, and a special cat named Milo. Milo was no ordinary cat. He was a big 18-pound feline who acted as the guardian of the household. His main job was to patrol the area and make sure everything was safe. Despite being a domesticated cat, Milo had a mysterious side. He would often disappear into the forest for long periods of time. While nobody knew exactly what he did out there, Nancy's grandmother believed he was a skilled hunter, as he always came back well-fed and content. Every summer, Nancy would visit her grandmother's house, and she and Milo would play together. The cat seemed to have a special affection for Nancy. One summer, when Nancy arrived at her grandmother's house, she was surprised to find not only Milo, but also a little grey puppy. Curious, Nancy asked her grandmother about the new addition to the family. It turned out that Milo had brought the puppy, a baby wolf, from the forest. This was unexpected, as Milo was usually serious and watchful. However, he had shown a surprising tenderness towards the young wolf, creating an unusual bond between the cat and the wolf pup. As the summer went by, the little wolf pup got bigger and stronger, with Milo keeping a close eye on him. Nancy and the wolf pup became the best of friends, sharing exciting adventures and lots of love. Milo, the usually serious cat, surprised everyone by being incredibly gentle with the growing wolf, forming a special bond between them. When it was time for Nancy to leave at the end of the summer, her grandma said she could visit again next month. Nancy really wanted to go into the forest one more time to pick mushrooms and take them with her. After a week, Nancy was on a bus going to her grandma's village when a problem popped up. The bus tire got flat and it couldn't go to the village. So Nancy had to walk for 2 hours to get there. But she didn't give up. She kept going through a lovely forest, enjoying the natura around her. As Nancy was walking along the road, she noticed a strange-looking bush and stepped off the path to check it out. Just as she did, a car came speeding towards her. Thankfully, she quickly stepped back onto the road and avoided getting hit. But to her surprise, the car stopped and turned around. At first, Nancy thought she might get a ride from someone in the village, but her hope turned into fear when she saw that the 2 men inside the car were drunk. Alone in the middle of the road, surrounded by the forest, Nancy tried to talk to the men, but they didn't listen. Things got worse when one of the men grabbed her forcefully and pushed her into the back seat of the car. The men laughed maliciously as they drove away, and Nancy couldn't help but cry, feeling scared and helpless. After driving for a short while, the men found a place to park and pulled Nancy out of the car. She tried to resist and scratched one of the men's faces, making him angry. In the chaos, she somehow managed to break free and started running away. However, a cry from one of the attackers made her turn around, and what she saw was beyond belief. Bounding towards Nancy was the wolf pup, which had grown into a strong and powerful wild animal. Without hesitation, the wolf bit into one man's leg, while Milo, the big cat, jumped onto the other man's back, using his sharp claws to fight them off. The attackers were scared off temporarily by the fierce defense of the wolf and Milo. However, the struggle continued, and the men quickly jumped back into their car, trying to escape. But fate had other plans. Their car wouldn't start, leaving them stuck. With Milo and the wolf by her side, Nancy decided to take a different path through the forest on her way to her grandmother's house. She didn't want to go on the road anymore. As they walked together, Nancy wiped her face to hide any signs of tears. She didn't want to upset her grandmother by telling her what happened. The weekend went just as they planned. Nancy, Milo, and the wolf spent their time picking mushrooms and enjoying the peaceful forest. Milo and the wolf, who had become a powerful team, were not only great friends but also heroes when Nancy needed them the most. That's all for today. Now, it's your turn to share your thoughts about this story. What's the next story you'd like to know? Let us know in the comment section below.